Welcome back to another episode of TVGP's We Roguelike It, show we're just checking out as many roguelikes as we can get our paws on. This time we're talking about Gunfire Reborn. I'm your host, Boston, playing this on the PlayStation 5. I'm joined, as always, by Moonpier.
The Xbox Series X.
I didn't know that much about Gunfire Reborn going in here, except that it was a first-person shooter.
Same.
I gotta say, let me couch this. I like this game.
But
it gives a really bad first impression. I think tutorial-wise, it feels a little bit rough, and the first time it has you do the dodge, it's just like, oh, that feels pretty clunky to use, and that cooldown is long.
I have basically not used it at all.
I used it during the first boss fight with the tiger guy, because you kind of have to.
Fireballs.
Yeah, but other than that, I'm kind of just strafing. Strafing like a shooter. I like this. I like this game quite a bit. But I think first impressions are sort of like, ugh, okay, sure, yeah, this feels a little bit
rough. We can say.
Yeah, like not super rough, but small team making a game rough, like maybe their first game or whatnot. But I think once you start unlocking stuff, I think it does better. And I actually really like, oh, hi, Louise. I actually really like how this game, when you unlock something in the middle of a run, it drops the thing you just unlocked. Like, you don't have to wait for it to show up in some mystical future run that you may or may not get. It's just like, yeah, man, you killed 500 ninjas, you get this super cool gun, and, oh, by the way, here it is, on the ground. Good job.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
It's always a very good way to introduce you to what that thing you've just unlocked does, definitely.
Yeah, because we've played so many roguelikes where it's just like, you've unlocked this thing, and it's just like a JPEG. It's like a swirly blue circle. And it's like, cool. Oh, I don't know what that is. Okay, I guess I'll see it at some point, somewhere. Great.
Or in Isaac's case, it just ends up being a little pixel image.
That's right. That's right.
Huh?
Yep. It's like, you've unlocked glaucoma. It's like, sorry? What now?
Yep.
Yeah. How are you finding Gunfire Reborn so far?
It's interesting so far. We talked about on the main show. If you don't listen to that, you should. I went on a little tirade about the achievements in this game because screw you.
Yeah, because boo hiss for 1 point achievements.
Yep. Because that stuff should never be the case, but whatever, yeah. It is what it is. Controls-wise, it feels okay. I'm not going to say it's an incredible feeling game, but it feels okay to play.
Agreed.
I made it so far. I beat the first boss. I made it about 3/4 of the way through the desert world before I got killed again.
That second zone, so much harder than the first one. Like, I can regularly get up to, like, every run at this point, I can get up to and beat that first boss, no problem. Like, that is, I'm doing pretty okay. But, like, man, every once in a while you get in that second zone, it's like, all right, I'm in the second room, I'm doing pretty okay, and a coyote comes up behind you, just, like, 2 shots you. That's rough.
It's really rough.
Yeah, the furthest I've gotten is I had one good run where I picked up a perfectly rolled big hippo, which is the minigun, and it had essentially like double the range and 3 times the accuracy. So it was just like a sniper rifle that had 700 rounds. Like, it was ridiculous. And I got all the way through the first 3 areas, And I beat that second desert area and beat the boss. I got through the third area too, which is a very cool area, and fought the boss, which I'm not going to spoil. I did not know how to damage that boss, and it one-shot me.
Oh, jeez.
So at that point, it's like, hey man, you have like 300 spirits or whatever your currency is for upgrading your skill tree. Do you want to spend 20 of them to resurrect? And I was like, no, I'm if it one-shot me, I'm not ready to fight this thing. I'm gonna go spend a bunch of points in my skill tree here.
Yeah, gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, I was very much not ready for that area. I think for me, one of my biggest things that I wish was in here is actually something I wish they would steal from Gungeon, where Gungeon had an option that if you had cleared a room and all the enemies are dead and you're just like scooping up ammo and stuff, you move way faster in that room. And I am desperate for that option in this game. I haven't found it. If someone says it's in the options, please let me know what it's called. I'm desperate for that option. Not having a
sprint is a little bit weird too.
Yeah, because like there's so many runs where I'm doing okay on ammo, but I'm really using my like medium and heavy ammo weapons, and you need to be scooping up ammo for those as often as you can. But they're all the way at the beginning of the room that I started in, and not all of these rooms are super big, but your character does not move fast at all, or at least the starting character doesn't. I haven't played the second one that I unlocked, but I'm desperate for an option like that, because it's not ruining the experience, but it's like I need to go over here and scoop up this food so I can regen my health and then just keep moving, and
yeah,
that's rough.
Oh, I don't know, man. It's weird. Like the shooting is fine so far. Like I've run across a couple of guns that I kind of like the way they feel.
Which ones are fancy?
It begins with an A. It's the crossbow looking thing.
That one's cool. Yeah.
I really, really like the crossbow.
Yeah.
That gun. I had a rocket launcher that was pretty solid as well, if I'm completely honest.
Oh yeah, I had that. I had a good rocket launcher some run. I don't even remember what it's called, but I was like, oh, it's a rocket launcher. Let me try this, and just I think it had an extra like blast radius on it as one of its perks, and it worked some stuff. That was a pretty good roll.
Yes. Oh boy. Like I don't care in the slightest about the story in this game at all so far. It has done nothing to do anything with that.
It's also not super well written. Like, it doesn't really need to be, because it doesn't...
The question is it not super well written, or is it not super well translated?
That's another possibility. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, either way, that the writing it's not bad, but it's kind of stilted. Like, it's a little bit awkward. You can still tell what's going on, but I also don't really care about the story. I mean, there's enough there to tell me why I'm doing run over run, which I guess I kind of don't really need, but I guess I can appreciate that they have it there. But I would be okay just saying, like, yeah, it's a roguelike. Like, that's just... You're doing another run. Don't worry about it. But yeah, even unlocking the second character, even that was sort of... I think I got maybe 1 or 2 lines, and that was really it. So...
No, I haven't even unlocked the second character yet, to be honest.
I don't even remember how I did it. I think I beat the second boss, and I think that unlocked it for me. But I'm not even 100% sure.
Probably.
Yeah. I also didn't realize this was a co-op game. I think you can have 4 people play at the same time.
Looks like it, yes.
Yeah, and you can do matchmaking, which is the thing I will never, ever do in the history of ever. Nope. But I do appreciate that they do have that option. Yeah.
Yeah. I I don't know. So far, it seems fine. I mean, we'll see.
I've had fun. I have had fun playing it. Have you can tell we've been recording for like 4 hours already.
Yes.
I've had fun playing it, but you know, we're coming off of Atomic.
It's not
Hearts.
in my head.
Exactly.
Like it's not something I'm ever thinking about when I'm not playing it. When I'm thinking about it, it's because it's on my dashboard as I recently played. Like, yeah, bro, probably should play that.
Literally the point I was just gonna make, because I was thinking like, man, Atomic Crops was just that wriggled its way in our brain for over a month pretty happily. And Gunfire is in that list of like, I have it pinned to my home screen on PS5 and I'm playing it for the show, but I'm not sure I'm feeling that pull, which is okay. Like we always say, it doesn't have to, but also we are busier than anything else, so we're making time where we can. But so far, impressions seem good so far, I think.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just not one of those things that is currently jumping out at me.
Right. All right, well, that's our first week for Gunfire Reborn. Has some promise, some potential here. People seem to really like it, so hopefully we'll kind of get into maybe why it's well beloved, and hope you'll join us for our next run. Bye.
Bye.